Alright guys, in today's video we're going to be reviewing the mod for Total War Rome 2 Divide et Impera. Now, this mod aims to be really historically accurate, and I think to an extent it achieves that. There's only so much they can do with Rome 2. They don't have the full mod tools they have for like Rome 1 and Medieval 2, where they can do a lot, which is unfortunate. I think the modders have done a really good job with what they've had, but if you don't like Rome 2, Divide and Impera is not going to make you like Rome 2. I'm in the camp that believes that no matter how good a mod is, it's not going to rate a like 5 or 6 out of a 10 game to like a 7.5, 8, maybe a 9 out of 10. It's just not going to. If you don't like Rome 2, you're not going to like Divide and Impera. But if you like Rome 2 and want a really historically accurate mod, you'll probably really like Divide and Impera. Now, Divide et Impera, in terms of the factions for the Grand Campaign, has a lot. The Romans, I would say, is a relatively challenging campaign. And by the way, Divide et Impera is balanced around normal for both battle and campaign, from what I've been told anyway, from what research I've done. If I'm wrong on that, let me know in the comments, and let me know what difficulty you play Divide et Impera on in the comments. But anyway, you have the Romans. I am currently playing with a submod that removes the political parties because I just don't like it in Rome 2. I'll leave a link to the DEI mod that removes it if you don't like it in the description. But if you guys like it, just don't play with the mod. But no, you have the Romans. You have the Diadochi, which is Alexander's successor kingdoms. You have Carthage. A bunch of different Gallic tribes. Barada, which I'm pretty sure this is the only Indian tribe in Total War Rome 2, to my knowledge. But apart from that, you have the British, Iberian tribes, steppe kingdoms, Greek kingdoms, Arabian states, Dacian and Thracian kingdoms, some African states, as well as like Greek colonies. You have Coctis, Chimera, Massilia, Syracuse, Parthia. There's a lot of different factions you can play as if you guys want to play any of the Grand Campaign. It also adds the Macedonian Wars, which gives you the Roman Republic, Macedon, Kingdom of Pergamon, and Rhodes to play, like the Roman conquest of Greece if you're interested in that. It also gives you the Mithridatic Wars between Sulla and Marius, a Alexander the Great campaign, which, from what I have heard, I have not personally played it, is much better than the Alexander campaign for Rome 1. Now, apart from that, there is a Wrath of Sparta DEI campaign, but it's not in the main thing. It's a separate mod. I think Empire Divided is getting stuff for it, as well as Rise of the Republic does have a DEI-focused campaign, which is pretty cool. But anyway, let's get into the campaign map and go over what exactly it changes from the base game. Alright guys, arguably the biggest change that Divide et Impera makes for the Grand Campaign and the other campaigns is the addition of a population system. Now, Vanilla Rome 2 has a population growth surplus, just like Warhammer 3, Troy, Pharaoh, etc. Played those games, or even Rome 2, you know what I'm talking about. But, so when you sack or exterminate a city, nobody actually dies, which is something I don't particularly like when it comes to Rome 2. I really enjoy having a population system. It's why Rome 1 is my favorite Total War game of all time. But the modders from Divide et Impera are able to bring it into the game. Now, unfortunately, the AI does not play with it. It's only a hindrance on the player. But, as you can see, you have 4 different classes. Each faction in the game has 4 different classes. You have the Patricians, the Plebs, or Proletari, and the Progeni. The Progeni, in the case of the Romans, is your foreigners. The Proletari are your, like, lower class. Your Plebs are your, like, working upper middle class. And the Patrician are your nobles. And when you go to recruit units from your provinces, they'll be pulled from a specific population pool. Like if you notice, for example, here it'll take 200 Proletari, and I have a manpower of 6,100 to pull from. And if I start recruiting, you see that goes down to 4,500. If I unrecruit all of this, goes back up to 6100, and it's made to make the campaign more realistic and slow the campaign down, which, to its credit, it does do. This is about turn 200. We have about half of the Roman Empire, basically. Missing Britain, but if you add that, I basically conquered the Western Roman Empire from Total War Attila, if you played that game. Now, for turn 200, it's very slow. And granted, I haven't been super optimal when it comes to dealing with banditry and stuff like that. As you can see, Rome has a banditry of 28, which is definitely on the higher end, but there's ways to affect it and to lower it. Like, these buildings will all lower banditry by a decent bit. But I don't know if I'm going to play this campaign anymore after this video, so we're not going to deal with it. Banditry, I will say, in Dividend and Impera is better than the banditry system in Empire Divided from my experience in that mod. A link to the playlist of my Let's Play is in the description for Empire Divided as well as the Dividend and Impera Let's Play. Now, another thing that DEI does fairly well in terms of the campaign, in my opinion, is the colors in the actual campaign map. I like how more vibrant they are. They're very fleshed out. They're very pretty. I also like the more unique buildings, like the supply warehouse, because you have the supply system, which is essentially how much food an army consumes while it's in a province. And you have units in the game, like this one, that will extend your supply. And I'm pretty sure some, like, units like this can give your missile units more ammo. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure some can. Also, you have area of recruitment. So, for example, which army is it? This army has some, like, Gallic legionnaires. Or Gallic-inspired legionnaires, because they're recruited from Gaul, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's from down here. If you look at the auxiliaries, you can get area recruitment units that can only be recruited in that area, which, honestly, I really like. It leads to more unique and less standardized armies. Granted, I am a player who really likes standard armies. So typically, so far in this campaign on DEI, I run something like this, and it's worked, except I need to get better skirmishers. These ones, at this point in the campaign, even at max experience, aren't the greatest. Granted, that is just a knock on Dividend Impera in general. In the campaigns I've done, and in the multiplayer battles I have played with friends, the archer units don't seem to be particularly good. It's a very melee-focused mod from my experience. But anyway, let's get into the battles, and it's probably the aspect of the mod that's least enjoyable for me, if that makes sense, but I'll explain why when we get into a battle. Alright guys, before we get into the battle, we are going to be playing against Macedon. It is just a custom battle, normal difficulty, just standard stuff, because that's what the is balanced around. Now, I do want to show off how the units look. I think they look pretty cool. I'm not entirely in love with the metal strap along the Legionary's arms, but they do look good. I like how they look. They're pretty good. I didn't choose a whole lot of like unique units for this battle, but there are a ton of unique units for area recruitment and a bunch of other stuff. And one thing you will notice is the first cohort in the Roman armies will have significantly more units. This one has 400 men, this one has 200. The main legionary regiment in vanilla has 120 men. These obviously have significantly more. Another thing you will notice is that your general's abilities are limited. You only have a certain number of uses. And that's even for Inspire. And Inspire does work differently in this mod than it does in vanilla. In vanilla, you activate Inspire and you click a unit and it will expire. In Dividend Impera, it is a area of effect. So when you click it, as long as there is a unit within that blue circle, they will all be inspired, which I really actually like. Now, the battles are the main reason why I don't particularly enjoy Dividend Impera, and it's because they are slow. They are really slow. Pike units, which is why I'm choosing playing against Macedon, are really strong in DEI. And whether or not I win or lose this battle doesn't matter for the sake of the review. This is more so you guys know what to expect from Dividend Impera, if you haven't tried it already. And honestly, these battles, to an extent, do bore me somewhat. So let's move up on Macedon. And you will see that our archers probably won't get all that many kills. But we should be fine. I'm going to fast forward until we're closer, and I will see you then. One thing to keep in mind with DEI battles is that the battles in vanilla usually take anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes on average for me on hard battle difficulty or normal battle difficulty. There's not a big difference. However, on very hard, they do last a little bit longer, about 10-12 minutes, give or take. But there is a substantial increase in Dividend and Impera's battle length. And it's kind of substantial, but it can also not be at the same time. We really want to archer down the pike units because they're really strong, and they will destroy the crap out of us. Now, both armies should be of relatively similar strength. I didn't make Macedon purposely weak, and they're all on max experience also. So if we move up our general, I don't really like to do flanking maneuvers with the general in this mod simply because of the general abilities. And let's pull our archers back because they were not on skirmish mode for whatever reason. Let's pull them back. Let's turn them on skirmish mode.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
We really got to defeat the cavalry, and then we should overall be fine. We killed our general. We'll also be okay. Now, these battles, especially siege battles, which in my opinion already drag in Rome 2, drag exponentially more in DEI. Which, if you guys like really slower, more tactical battles, personally I don't find these battles to be any more tactical than the base vanilla ones. But if you do, that's cool. It's entirely your opinion. It's your taste in what you enjoy in a video game. Don't let my personal taste in video games dissuade you from enjoying DEI. If you enjoy DEI, I'm really glad you enjoy it. If you don't and you're like me, then that's cool too. Also, I think the majority of infantry units in DEI, whether you're a Roman or not, have Pilas. So we got around. Let's try to destroy the archers.
The men are wavering.
Our infantry's starting to lose. Their pikes will just last forever when it comes to melee. If they were deployed right, which usually they are, but we charged, they weren't able to necessarily lay them down. So we'll be fine in that regards. Our general can do no more abilities, so he's basically a cav unit at this point. And the sooner we get rid of the archers, which even the archers are lasting longer in melee, simply just because of how many units they have. And also, a lot of your routed units will come back faster. Like this unit is back. This army should be fine. This battle is going to take a good amount of time. I'm not going to fast forward it any longer than I already did just to move closer. But if you want to see more examples of DEI battles, link in the description to the Let's Play series we were doing. Our cavalry was able to get behind them, which if you did not know in Rome 2, if you hit a unit in the back, they lose about 30% morale, I want to say. I know if you hit them from all sides, front, left, right, and the back, it's a like 50% morale debuff. They're doing good over here. They're breaking us over here, actually. but our units will come back. This battle is going to be a slog. It's going to be really drug out, which if you guys like that, it's cool. It's not my thing. I'm not big on battles that like to drag out for the sake of being long. That's just me. Some people really like the longer battles. I'm just not one of those guys.
This is a shameful display.
What we really need to do is try to kill the general. Killing the general will actually speed this up.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Partly due to how, like, just how many more units are in a, or how many more soldiers are in a unit, I think is a major contributing factor to how long these mods will be, or battles will be. To actually put the general on wedge and charge here, so the enemy general is dead. Now we just got to beat the shot cab, which I want to say we should be able to do pretty easily. Now, one of our units has rallied, so we're just going to send them straight back in. You do have ammo, and you should be firing. Another tip for round 2, whether it's DEI or in vanilla, if your units have shields, like our Roman units, for example, if you fire on their right, so if they're coming in right where my mouse is, you'll do more damage because the shield can't block it on the right. It's the same logic as shooting them in the back. Round 2 is a very stat-heavy base game. So if you're able to manipulate the stats in a battle for you to your favor, it is actually really beneficial to do that. Our units are coming back. We're hitting them in the rear, so you're going to lose 30%, which is a pretty good thing. We can pull you over here.
The battle is turning in our favor.
And we get a charge over here. Be great. Just to get rid of these pikes. The pikes will last a long time. Now, another thing DEI does, if you look, and I'm not sure if any other mod or DLC does it, because I haven't played the DLCs in a while. It'll show that shaken, they're losing 10 to 50% of their morale, and the general's dead, so you can see a more accurate state of the enemy unit's morale. Which I also like, but it's just the overall length of these battles that makes me not super enjoy it. This one wasn't particularly long for DEI, but you guys can pretty easily see, I mean, this was a 12-minute battle, that they are longer. If this was a vanilla battle, it would have been over in about 7 or 8 minutes. And when you play multiple long field battles like this, it really starts to drag. I really like fast-paced battles. I know some people don't, but just to prove, the armies are basically similar in composition for the most part. I think we have one more melee or one more skirmisher unit. And they obviously have like pikes and Greek units. And we're both on max experience. Now, anyway, for my final score for DEI, personally, it is not a mod for me. I don't particularly enjoy it. So, for me, I don't think it actually improves Rome 2. On a scale from 1 to 10, I keep Rome 2 at about anywhere from a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10, depending on the day. Some days Rome 2 really pisses me off. But, Rome 2 I give about an 8. DEI might make it like an 8.3, 8.4. But it's not enough for me to warrant boring myself with the battles to play it over the vanilla game. So, anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed Dividend Impera and check it out. There'll be a link in the description to the Steam Workshop page so you can subscribe to it. It is also available on ModDB if you guys are interested, and peace.